Hello everybody and welcome to the New Hampshire Business Show. Today I'm joined by Stephanie Edwards of Ideal Health. Welcome to the show, Stephanie.
Thank you, Chris. It's nice to be here.
I know, I've been waiting for a while to have you on. I know your schedule's kind of crazy.
Oh my God, yeah.
So let's talk health. I know this is a huge issue across the country generally. I'm always hearing about it, so let's talk a little bit about health. Well, first, let's do an intro. Let's talk a little bit about you, what you do,
Okay.
your past.
Yeah. So my background is in legal. Was a legal administrator, paralegal for 30-something years, but I've always had a passion for health, fitness, and nutrition, and I've always done it on my own as I trained as a bodybuilder, and so then, you know, the good life kind of catches up to you, and a few injuries here and there, and you kind of lose track of what you're doing. And so I gained a few pounds and come across Ideal Protein, and then I said, you know what, I like the concept. It's a ketogenic diet, and so I looked into maybe opening up my own clinic, and then I took that leap from the legal world and went headfirst into what I do now, which is nutrition and weight loss, and opened my own clinic 7 years ago, and it's been a whirlwind ever since.
That's awesome. So you mentioned, is it ketogenic?
Ketogenic.
Ketogenic.
Yes.
So what is ketogenic as opposed to other things?
So a ketogenic diet is based on a low-fat, low-carb, but a protein-based diet where you're basically turning your body from fat storing to fat burning. So it switches your body into burning ketones, which allows you to burn fat as an energy source versus your glucose and your muscle mass.
Okay. So that'll probably confuse a lot of people. Okay, so let's talk basics a little bit. So we kind of know a little bit of what you said. It's kind of, we're trying to turn our body into losing weight.
Yep.
How do people usually go about it? And why is it different or wrong? Or?
All right, so people usually think, okay, if I just restrict the calories that I eat and just do a lot of cardio and work out like a lot, that I'll lose weight. Well, what happens is if they don't reduce their carbohydrate intake and just strictly reduce the calories that they're consuming, their body never quite shifts to that fat burning store, because your body naturally wants to go to your glucose for energy first, and you get that from all your carbohydrates that you eat. So if it always is getting the glucose, it will always go to that first for energy. So by reducing the glucose or the carbohydrates that you're consuming, your body then no longer has that available. So it has to go to then your muscle or your lean tissue, which is why a ketogenic diet like Ideal Protein makes sure you have enough of the protein to preserve that lean tissue, and then forces your body to then only burn what's left, which is your fat stores. So that's basically what it does in a nutshell. And so when they're on a low calorie diet and they start working out, like not doing the right type of exercise, for instance, cardio actually works against weight loss when you're in a low calorie diet, because you're not having enough of that glucose stores to maintain that type of exercise. So what I tell my clients is, if you're on a low calorie, low carb diet, stay away from running, cycling, any type of high intense workout, because you're going to make your body go into what is called gluconeogenesis, which is basically making your muscle produce insulin, and then you burn that instead of what you should be burning. So I tell people on a ketogenic diet where you're doing a low carb, low calorie, you'll want to do things like walking, Pilates, yoga, strength training is a great way to work with what you're trying to do.
Okay. So that seems like a pretty big misconception then.
Absolutely.
It's like, because cardio seems to be on everyone's mind.
Yep.
Like, you're not losing weight if you're not running 50 miles a day.
Exactly.
So,
what they don't understand is they're actually working against what they're trying to do, which is why a lot of people, when they, January resolutions come along and I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to run and do a lot of biking and a lot of treadmill running, and they don't go anywhere because they're not really changing what they're eating.
which is, I've seen a couple places that it was really well put, like almost like a food pyramid.
Yep.
Except the bottom of it should actually be diet.
Yeah.
Instead of cardio, which is actually like up on the top where you don't eat much at all. It's like diet, strength training, interval, then
Yep.
a little bit of cardio.
Yeah. Well, when I was training, I would do very little cardio. It was mostly weights, and maybe 2-3 times a week doing 15 to 20 minutes of cardio, and that's it.
That's pretty good. You should tell the Army that. Because that's all we would do is they're like, if you can't run 20 miles, then you're
but
in
you know
bad
what?
shape.
They have an ulterior motive, and
Yeah.
they make sure you eat well.
Yeah,
So-
I got it. Cool. So, someone brand new, they're, like you said, they're getting ready to start those resolutions, all that stuff. Where do they start? Because that can be overwhelming. Because you know a lot, but they have no idea.
Right. So the first thing I do is tell them to do their research. For instance, my clinic holds weekly workshops on Monday nights that they can come and learn about what my program does and how they can get started there, and how the body works and why a ketogenic is probably a better way to lose weight than a hypocaloric diet, which still allows you to have those carbohydrates. But basically, they want to pick a program that they're going to be able to, one, stay committed to. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a ketogenic. It can be a paleo, it can be a hypocaloric diet. As long as they're going to stick to what they're doing and be committed to that program, they will lose weight. A ketogenic diet, like the Ideal Protein Weight Loss Method, is they typically get fast results, but in a healthier way than fasting or something like that.
Okay. So, this is the fun part. So they're learning how to start, and they
Yep.
start. You even said it earlier. After that first week, 2 weeks, there's this like sharp drop off.
Yep.
How do you help people get through that?
Well, my clients, they get one-on-one weekly coaching, so there's an accountability. I make them do a daily journal, so they're not only accountability is to me, but to them as well. So that journal helps them be accountable to themselves. They also get education along with that, because our focus really isn't on the weight loss, but the maintenance. So if we can get you to your goal, then the hard part is getting you to make those lifestyle changes and make it part of that, what we call lifestyle living, where your habits are now more healthier. But basically, that one-on-one coaching and giving you that ability to stay committed and being able to get ideas and tips on how to handle socializing or stress or things like that.
Okay. So yeah, we've touched on a lot there. Because I've been there. I'm not a small dude, as you know. We've worked together in the past. That like 2 week marker is hard for people. And then you mentioned healthier lifestyles, and for someone like me, and probably for a lot of the viewers, there's that lifestyle can kind of get in the way. So you mentioned finding a healthier lifestyle.
Right.
Do you have any tips for them as to what they should be looking at? Because a lot of people sit in front of a computer all day,
Yep.
sit in front of the TV all day, and I guess the easy solution is don't do that, but it can be hard for people.
Right. One of the best ways to handle working in front of a computer all day is make sure you plan your week. If you know you're going to be so busy that it's going to be hard for you to maybe go grab some healthy options at a restaurant or a supermarket salad bar or whatever, make sure you're packing your water and your healthy snacks and your lunch, so you're not tempted to go to McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or any of those kind of places. So meal planning is probably one of the most important things that I can recommend.
Okay. Let's talk about meal planning then, because
Yeah.
that could be a pretty good one.
All right, so meal planning, basically, if your schedule allows you to have a day where you don't really have to plan, just make sure you get all your food in and all
Yeah.
your water. But if you know you've got a day where let's say you're an attorney and you're going to be in depositions all day, well, make sure you have enough with you, so when you do have those breaks in the deposition where you can have some of your water or have a nice meal replacement bar or a quick salad with maybe some chicken on it or something. So, or if you're a salesman on the road, have a 6-pack of bottled water in your car at all times, so you have no excuse not to get all your water in. Make sure you have little baggies of maybe cut up vegetables in your car. Things that are portable. Yeah. So there's no excuse for you not to grab healthier choices.
Yeah. You're sitting there and you're like, man, I could really go for a pizza right now.
Exactly.
All of the pizza.
Exactly. But in your car next to you, you have a bottle of water, you've
Yeah.
got a protein shake, and you've got cut up broccoli.
Okay. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
I could definitely use more of that in my life.
Yeah. So, I mean, every excuse that I've heard it. So I can pretty much say, okay, well, next time try this. Next time do this. And they'll come back to me usually a week later and say, you know what, that really was helpful and I've implemented that. And now I'm able to stay a little more on track.
Okay, so based on our timeline, we've gotten them past the very beginning.
Yep.
A little bit. We kind of got over that little hump in the middle and we're working on it. For the type of diet that you guys offer at your place compared to other diets, is it like long term, or is there a tapering off point? At what point should it be moving up to like a kind of a normal?
So our goal is to get you through the lifestyle building, which is the weight loss phase. You're on a 850 to 1,000 calorie, but because it's a ketogenic, your body is not starving. You're not hungry. Because it's using the body in a more efficient manner by burning your fat stores. So then when you get to your goal, then we phase you off what we call the pre-stabilization phase, where we initially add additional calories back into your diet. And then the last 2 weeks of the pre-stabilization phase, we add your whole grains, your fruits, your dairy products back in to your diet, but in the morning. And then after those 2 weeks, now your pancreas is kind of what I call kind of reset itself, where it's producing insulin in a more normal fashion. And then we give you your basal metabolic rate, which is a tool that you're going to need to maintain that weight loss. So at the weight that we get you to, we give you a basal metabolic rate, which is your calorie intake, even if you do nothing, to maintain that weight. And then I work with you based on your activity level to create a new basal metabolic rate, which is additional calories based on the activity levels, so you can maintain your weight at that level. And then we also do a trigger number. So this number is the weight that you never want to see again. And it doesn't have to be where we brought you in at, but it could be like a halfway point. Let's say you're down to 180 and you never want to see 210 again. Mm-hmm. So that would be your trigger number, and if you get to that or even start creeping up close to that and then you get nervous, then you just come back to see me and we work with you until that weight is back off.
Okay. There's a lot of benefit to that.
Yes,
I think
so the maintenance, I think, is more important than the weight loss.
Yeah.
Weight loss is actually easy. Maintaining it, because your body naturally wants to gain weight, weight loss is actually an unnatural process. So maintaining it is probably the hardest part, and where my work with you is more important.
That's pretty good. Yeah, because I've been there a bunch of times. You know, especially when I was in the military, my weight fluctuates a lot. So
Yep.
I can fluctuate in a given day from 10 to 15 pounds.
Right.
So I can I can totally see having a problem losing weight.
Yeah.
And then maintaining it can be bad too, because one bad day and okay, it's all back. Or
Right,
yeah.
but that's the point. If you have a bad day in your week, say you eat really good during the week, and then one day on the weekend you have a really off the wagon type day where you're having pizza and ice cream and beer. Well, it's what you do the very next day that tells your body what to do with all that glucose you just consumed. And that's what I teach you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, okay, yeah, we're running over on time here. So how can people get in touch with you, reach out if they have any questions?
All right, so my office is in Bedford. We're located at 170 South River Road, right next to the Manchester Country Club. And my telephone number is 603-206-5846. And my website is idealhealthllc.com. And my email is idealhealthllc@comcast.net. And again, I hold weekly workshops on Monday nights, and you just give me a call and let me know you're coming, and it starts at 7 o'clock, and they usually last about an hour.
Okay, awesome. So thank you so much for joining me on the show today, Stephanie. It's
Thanks.
always fun to hang out.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you.
And until next time, be awesome.